What's ripening YouTube? So I'm over here, this is how I like to spend my weekends, working outside. Don't ever get bored. I wanted to share something about some of the thought processes in the maintenance of an agroforestry system, and one of them being stratification. So what you're seeing here is a midline. I have my main mango grove lines on both sides, and then I developed this midline later on just because I wanted to maximize what was going on this piece of property. But the main crop right now is the pineapples, which are underneath, and the bananas, and then we've already pulled out previous iterations of crops that were here when we first planted. What I'm doing right now is thinning out the bananas and then stratifying. So some of these nitrogen fixing species like this Lucena, and there's some Peltiforum are in here, and then I've got this Chinaberry, which I'm using as an early emergent. What I'm doing is just taking all the bottom branches out and then coppicing the tops. So what that's going to do is encourage it to branch out a lot, hopefully up at the top where the coppice cuts are. And the idea is to stratify and have a high and emergent layer up above my low medium pineapples. And what that does is there's midday shade on these plants, but it's opening more light to come in from the sides in the morning and the afternoon. And I'm trying to stimulate those the mature pineapples to flower. And when we do the pruning, we're also stimulating the root zone of the plants. So here's where I haven't got to yet. This is one that hasn't been pruned yet. What we're gonna do is we start at the bottom and we work our way up, and we'll just take all these little side branches off. And then usually, like here's a previous cut. Usually I'll cut that off and then cut this here, or I may decide that I want my height to be a little higher, and I'll cut up here and just strip the rest of the branches off below that. The idea being to let light in from the sides and to separate your stratas a little bit, just so it's not so congested. You get a little bit better airflow through the system. It's the same thing I've done with my mangoes. I've talked about it in other videos. I lifted up the bottom of the canopy on the mangoes so that I could have my pineapples producing underneath. And actually this year we pulled the pineapples out of the mango grove because we're getting a lot more intentional with our mango trees now that we're grafting fruit trees. A significant amount of them. We decided to pull the pineapples out and have it just be more accessible for us to get in and out of the tree zone and pull budwood when we need it. But stratification, that's another element of the syntropic agroforestry system, getting it right over time and over space and to meet the needs of your particular farm is really important. These are principles, it's not rules, but they're principles to try to follow. Here's another one that's ready for a little prune, and hope that made sense for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. See you next time.